Hello, I'm Hormuz Romer, and this is a video edition of Oracle Fusion Middleware Radio. Our guest today is Todd Beets, Senior Enterprise Architect at Qualcomm. Todd's been one of our good friends and longtime Oracle Identity Management customer. Todd, welcome.
Thanks, Hormuz.
Todd, why don't you tell us a little about Qualcomm and the business there and what you guys are up to?
We have multiple business divisions and product lines, but one of our significant divisions is semiconductor. So the chipsets and software that power many of the mobile devices or cell phones that people use today. We also work with our carriers and have added value services for the wireless marketplace.
So you guys have been an early adopter of identity management. Can you give us a brief history of how you guys got started and then the business requirements and challenges that you've been addressing over the last few years?
For us, it's probably like a lot of large companies, especially. Identity management has grown with the way people work and how information technology has changed over the years. So like many companies in the later 90s, we started implementing more and more systems that enable applications to be shared more easily by, at first, our internal employees. For instance, your standard LDAP directories and web single sign-on, etc. And then, that has progressed as technology has progressed and as the requirements from our business has progressed as well to more sophisticated systems, more automated systems for managing identity and meeting, increasingly complex user cases and security requirements.
So which Oracle products have you guys been using today, and what have you been doing with it?
Sure. We actually got started with Oracle Identity Management products fairly early on. We were live with Oracle Directory products and Web Single Sign-On in early 2004, which really augmented in some particular businesses. I mentioned the semiconductor division earlier, really provided a highly integrated identity platform along with some of our key supply chain applications for that business. And that was as an adjunct to the other identity projects and efforts we had at the time as well. And then lately, we've started to invest in Oracle Identity Management products as we embark sort of on our next generation of sophistication, meeting the new needs and being more agile and really looking at identity services and identity platform that can be readily consumed by our businesses. It's really, in fact, in alignment with SOA architecture principles. There's really sort of a convergence of the SOA space and identity management services. And really Oracle, in Oracle's identity management suite of products is key to that in those efforts.
What benefits and results have you guys been able to accomplish and achieve with this identity management implementation?
Certainly starting in 2004, we were, with Oracle Directory products and Web Single Sign-On, we were able to quickly integrate identity and identity attributes between several key line of business applications that really form sort of a composite application for our semiconductor business. And so that has been very successful and has been in production for several years. But lately, we're also using additional Oracle components in the identity management suite, such as Oracle Virtual Directory, to really be more agile and respond to new requirements from our business. Perhaps there's a new application or a new service that we've onboarded into our environment. We need to expose certain identity attributes and other information. Before that could be quite complex. Perhaps we'd have to field an additional physical directory and maintain the expense of that just for that application. with some of the tools such as Oracle Virtual Directory, we can really set up a view of that data that meets the needs of that application, but really uses our existing underlying data store for identity. So the efficiency gains have been the early benefits of the Oracle Identity Management Suite products.
So you mentioned being able to do web services-based identity management. That's fairly advanced and for a lot of our customers more forward-looking in terms of identity management. What is your roadmap for identity management over the next year or two?
I'm actually quite excited about it. I mentioned we're in phase 3 of an internal project right now for rolling out a series of identity services in an identity platform that really is a first-class service offering to our business customers. And it's exciting in several ways. One is we're able to take what previously was a responsibility of our application writers of our business in terms of managing identity in a silo, and we're able to offer those same services centrally so that we can free up those business customers to really focus on business logic and service and things that are really specific to that business task rather than what is critical, identity and access management, but what is really sort of just a foundation piece and in some ways wiring. So we want to be able to enable them to uptake those advanced identity services very easily and so they can focus on the business task at hand. It also allows us to, from a security perspective, more easily do, sort of audit and ensure that enterprise policy is universally applied across the business. Where today, we do a good job of it, but we do have multiple teams who have to spend time and dollars and resource on those activities.
So tell us more about how you guys are using Identity Federation. I think you have some really interesting use cases there.
This has really stemmed from the types of applications that our engineering groups and our business groups, our internal customers, are needing to field, both for interacting between internal customers in a collaborative way. So this is really reflective of how people, not just at Qualcomm, but in the world now do work. So we're targeting a lot of our new services at sort of the way knowledge workers work. So applications are not traditional transaction-based with a small group of users, but more and more it's about different sets of users and people being able to interact with fewer boundaries, but still retaining a level of security and proper roles and who can see what content, etc. So this is sort of an IT and an identity and access management challenge. How do we respond to our business, which more and more requires very deep collaboration internally and with partners of Qualcomm. So suppliers, customers, engineering collaborators, even enthusiast communities. Really there's a larger group and a more nuanced set of roles and types of identity that we need to support from an identity platform and services point of view. And one of those cases is federated identity. So there are cases where we might use services from a SaaS provider or some other provider, or provide services as a product or some other IT function, where the management of the users, the identity is not traditional. We don't handle it, but we need to set up trust relationships. So it's the real federation space, and we are using Oracle Identity Federation to set up that capability, and we view that as pretty key for efforts that we need to do in the next several years.
Well, thanks, Todd, and thank you, our viewers, for joining us today. This has been a video edition of Oracle Fusion Middleware Radio.